When Donald Trump took the oath of office, something incredibly subtle happened, something that many people completely missed. But the few who noticed it have been talking about it ever since. Watch closely as this video slowly unravels a mystery that most of the public is unaware of. It might seem like a normal, typical moment in the inauguration, but there's a deeper message hidden within those few seconds that could change the way you view this event forever. Pay attention to the small details that others overlooked.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Could this moment be a sign of something much bigger than just a ceremony? As you watch the video, you'll see that Trump swore the earth, placing his hand on the Bible. That's the part everyone expects, right? But just as you think the ritual is complete, something unexpected happens. His hand moves off the Bible. This moment, brief as it is, has sparked debates among netizens. Why did he do it? Some are suggesting that Trump's gesture indicates something much deeper, something beyond mere symbolism. Could it be that he is signaling a break from tradition? Or is it something more significant that speaks to his role as a leader in relation to the God he swears by? Share this video if you believe there's something more to this moment. At first glance, this moment could appear to be an act of arrogance, a slip of protocol, or a lack of respect for tradition. But this view misses the greater context of Trump's actions and words. In fact, those who are quick to criticize the moment may not fully understand the deeper message he is conveying. Trump placed his hand on the Bible at the beginning, signaling his connection to God and his acknowledgement of his role in the oath of office. But when his hand moved away, it didn't indicate a disregard for God. It could be a sign of something far more profound, a message to the American people and to the world that he is not bound by traditional symbols alone, but rather by a deeper spiritual commitment. Trump's actions have deeper meaning. If you believe there's a hidden message, Trump's inauguration was more than just a political statement. It was a statement of faith. In his speech, he boldly declared that his administration would be driven by the pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success, not just for the country, but for the values that have long been cherished in this land. He didn't just mention the Constitution or the country. He specifically mentioned God, emphasizing that he would not forget him. This was a delivery declaration, a spiritual commitment, indicating that his leadership would be guided by God's principles. This is crucial, especially in a time when so many nations have turned away from the Lord and his teachings. Like this video, if you believe God should lead the nations. Now let's dive deeper into the challenge that Trump faces. He's not just tasked with making America great again. He's tasked with making America godly again. This distinction is important because greatness without God is fleeting. True greatness only comes when a nation honors the Lord, embraces his guidance, and strives to live according to his principles. Trump's mission is not just about restoring the economy, the military for national prestige. It's about restoring the spiritual foundation that has been eroded over time. And it's this aspect of his presidency that many overlook. But we must ask, can nation truly be great without God's favor? Comment: God's guidance is key to greatness. If you agree with this truth, as the video continues, Mr. Brandon will shed more light on what is happening in this moment and why it's so important for Christians to pay attention. You see, what many don't realize is that this seemingly small act, Trump's hand moving away from the Bible, could be a reflection of what is yet to come. The critics, the naysayers, may try to distract you with their opinions. But you must not be deceived. The truth lies beneath the surface. It's a sign of something bigger, something spiritual. Trump's second term may hold far more significance than just another 4 years in office. It may be a turning point for the country and for the church. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe there's more to Trump's second term. Joe Vance, his hands on the Bible during a significant moment, also symbolizes continuity of faith. The continuation of the covenant that has been established by God. In this generation, many are yearning for this very thing: the restoration of the Christian faith in leadership. As we look at the actions of both political and spiritual leaders, we must ask ourselves whether they will hold fast to this covenant, or whether they will drift away from it. Funds is Kastura, and Trump's actions are not mere formalities. They're symbolic of something much deeper, something spiritual, that has the power to change the trajectory of a nation. Come on, we need faith-filled leaders if you believe faith should lead nations. What happens next could alter everything. Many are watching Trump closely, wondering what his second term will look like. But what is really at stake is the spiritual battle that's taking place. This isn't just about politics. It's about the destiny of a nation. It's about the world that we leave behind for future generations. Will we honor God in His ways? Or will we continue to turn away from Him? Trump's choices, as subtle as they may seem, or a reflection of a much larger, spiritual battle that is unfolding before us. And we as the people of God must be vigilant and discerning in these times. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe this moment could change everything. You see, when we begin to understand the significance of what's happening in these moments, we realize that the spiritual future of our nation is at stake. We may not see the full picture yet, but make no mistake, this is a pivotal time in history. What happens next will be a direct reflection of whether the leaders of our time will acknowledge God or push Him aside. This isn't just about policies or politics. It's about the heart of a nation. And we as believers must stand firm in faith, praying that God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Come on, we must stand firm in faith. If you're praying for God's will, it's crucial that we don't get caught up in the distractions. The critics will try to sway us with their opinions, but we must not be deceived. The silence from certain quarters doesn't mean that God is absent. It means He is at work preparing something greater. We must trust that everything is unfolding according to His perfect plan. As Trump's second term approaches, we must pray for wisdom, understanding, and above all, or return to the foundational principles of faith This is not just about one leader. It's about the direction of an entire nation. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe in the power of prayer. As we move forward, keep in mind that every small detail has significance. Every action, every gesture, even something as subtle as Trump's hand on the Bible, has a deeper meaning. This is not a time to ignore the signs or overlook the symbols. It's a time to pay attention to what God is revealing in the smallest of moments. And as we witness these actions unfold, we must continue to pray, stay vigilant, and seek God's guidance. The best is yet to come, but it will only come when we remain faithful. Come on, I'm paying attention to the signs. If you are staying vigilant, the question is, are you prepared for what's to come? Are you ready for the spiritual shift that may take place in this nation? What happens next could be a turning point for the entire country. But this isn't just about political power. It's about the spiritual revival that we need. As Trump moves forward in his leadership, we must pray that God will guide him and give him the wisdom to lead this nation back to him. Only then will America truly be great again. We deeply appreciate your support and helping us spread God's message of hope, love, and blessings. If this message has inspired or uplifted you, please consider showing your gratitude by giving a $20 super thanks. Your contribution helps us continue creating more content that touches lives and brings people closer to God. By clicking the super thanks button below, you are not only supporting our hard work, but also helping to extend God's love to more hearts around the world. Thank you for being part of this mission. Thank you for your generous support. The truth that transcends human opinions and political battles. You see, what happened during Trump's inauguration was not a simple mistake, nor was it an intentional disregard for tradition. It was a powerful reminder that the strength of one's faith is not measured by external acts alone, but by the heart's true alignment with God's will. This moment, though seemingly insignificant to some, is rich with meaning for those who are willing to look beyond the surface. Trump's gesture or lack there, Rob did not deny his faith. It highlighted a deeper understanding of what it means to walk in faith. In this age, where performative actor often equated with true belief, Trump's actions serve as a stark reminder that faith is personal, and it's a matter of the heart. Comment: faith is about the heart, not just actions, if you believe this. Consider the biblical examples of King David and Gideon. These were men who, at first glance, did not meet the traditional expectations of leaders. They were underestimated, criticized, and overlooked by many, yet God chose them for His divine purpose. Why? Because their hearts were aligned with His will. David the shepherd boy was chosen to be king, not because of his outward qualifications, but because of his heart's devotion to God. Similarly, Gideon was called to lead an army, not because he was the most seasoned warrior, but because he trusted in God's power over his own limitations. This is a crucial point we must grasp. When evaluating the actions of our leaders today, God often uses imperfect vessels to accomplish His perfect plans. Share this if you believe God uses imperfect vessels for His purpose. Now think about the significance of Trump's inauguration and how it serves as a wake-up call to this nation. The viral video that circulated has stirred debates. But rather than focusing on the trivial, we should be asking ourselves why this moment is being scrutinized so intensely. Could it be that this very moment is meant to highlight the deep divisions that exist within our country? The nation is split not just politically. Some are quick to criticize, judging others, without understanding the deeper meaning of what is at play here. Others are searching for signs, looking for something to hold on to, something that speaks to their faith. The division we are witnessing is not new. It is a spiritual battle that has been intensifying for years. It's not just a political battle. It's a battle for the soul of this nation. Kumant, the nation, is spiritually divided. If you recognize the deeper division, America stands at a crossroads. Much like Israel did in biblical times, the question that lies before is this: will we continue to walk down the path of secularism, placing our trust in human strength and self-reliance? Or will we return to the God of our founding fathers? This is the choice that lies before us. And it's not a choice that can be taken lightly. Trump's words and actions during the inauguration were not about exalting a man or a political figure. They were a clarion call to this nation to turn its heart back toward God. It's not about Trump, it's about what he represents. In this moment of history, the message is clear. It is time for America to remember its roots and turn its eyes to the one who has sustained it all these years. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe America needs to return to God. In the book of Daniel, it is written, "He changes times and seasons. He deposes kings and raises up others." This verse serves as a powerful reminder that God is sovereign over all things, including the leaders who rise to power. Trump's presidency was not an accident, nor was it merely a political event. It was part of God's divine plan. Whether or not we agree with his policies, we cannot deny that his presidency destructed the status quo and brought faith back into the national conversation. It shook the foundations of the political establishment of inspect a conversation about the role of faith in leadership. This shift is something that should not be overlooked. It's a reminder that God has a plan and his ways are higher than ours. Kumant, God is sovereign over all leaders if you believe in his divine plan. Many critics of Trump's presidency have argued that his choices and actions don't fit the mold of a traditional leader. They point to his mannerisms, his style, and his lack of adherence to political norms. But here's the truth. God doesn't always work through traditional means. His ways are often unconventional, and he has a habit of using the most unlikely people to carry out his will. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us that God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. What seems foolish to the world can be part of God's perfect plan. We must not limit our understanding of how God works based on our own expectations. God's purposes will always prevail, no matter who is in power or how they choose to lead. Share this if you believe that God works in unconventional ways. The positioning of Trump's hands, the words he spoke, and the actions taken during his inauguration were all part of a divine orchestration. This moment was not just about a political leader. Taking an oath, it was about something much deeper. It was a reminder that God's hand is still at work in this world, even when we don't see it. This moment was not just about Trump or his administration. It was a call to the church to rise, to step into the space, and to offer clarity in these times of confusion. The viral video that's circulating is a reflection of the hunger people have for meaning, for truth, and for understanding. The church must meet this hunger with the gospel and the message of hope that only comes from God. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe the church must rise. In this moment, in times like this, when people are watching and dissecting every move our leaders make, it is more important than ever for the church to step into the conversation. This is not a time to be silent or passive. It's a time to speak out, to offer clarity, and to point people to the truth. The world is looking for answers, and the church has the answer. We must not shy away from the difficult conversations or the uncomfortable truths. This moment, this viral video, is an opportunity for the church to rise up and remind people that God's plan is unfolding, even in the midst of confusion and division. It is a time to point people to Christ, to the one who holds the answers to all of life's questions. Comment: the church must offer clarity in this moment. If you agree, as we continue to witness this unfolding events, we must remember that our role is not to sit on the sidelines. We are called to be active participants in the divine plan, to be voices of truth in a world that desperately needs it. The division we see is not just political, it's spiritual, and it is our responsibility to address it with boldness and faith. This is the time for believers to rise up, to stand firm in their convictions, and to be a light in the darkness. This is a moment in history that will be remembered, and we must ensure that we are on the right side of it. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to rise up in faith. We are in a critical moment, and the decisions we make now will shape the future. The viral video is just one small piece of the puzzle, but it serves as a reminder that things are not as they seem. There is much more happening behind the scenes than we realize. We must keep our eyes open, stay vigilant, and remain faithful. The battle is not over, and the outcome is not yet decided. But one thing is certain: God is at work, and His plan will not fail. Let's be a part of it. As we witness the unfolding of these events, we must remember that the true battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the spiritual forces that seek to divide and distract us. The viral video, while seemingly trivial, is part of a larger narrative that is taking place right before our eyes. It is a call to us, His believers, to remain vigilant, to keep our eyes focused on God's purposes rather than getting caught up in the distractions of the world. The enemy seeks to sow division, confusion, and down. But we are called to stand firm in our faith, knowing that God's plan will prevail in the end. Could not stand firm in faith? God's plan will prevail if you believe in God's victory. The message is clear. We are in a pivotal moment at time of decision. Just as in the days of Israel, We must choose whom we will serve. Will we continue down the path of self-reliance and secularism? Or will we return to God with hearts of repentance and faith? It's not about the man in office, but about the nation turning its gaze back to the Creator, who has always been the foundation of its strength. This is a call to action, not just for politicians, but for the church and for every believer to rise and speak the truth with boldness and love. Like, share, and subscribe. If you believe America must turn back to God, the world is watching, and the church must respond with clarity and truth. In times of uncertainty, the light of Christ shines brightest. We are not called to blend in with the world, but to be set apart to be a beacon of hope in the darkness. The current events, the divisions, and the battles all serve as a reminder that we must not grow weary in well-doing. Our strength is in the Lord, and He is the one who will lead us through every storm. We must trust in His perfect timing and remain faithful to the mission. He has said before us, could not be a beacon of hope in the darkness. If you're ready to stand firm, as we come to the end of this message, let us take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. The spiritual battle is real, and we are called to be a part of God's plan. This video, this moment in time, is a reminder of the urgency of our mission. It's a call to awaking to desert the times, and to act with courage and conviction. Let us not be swayed by the opinions of others, but stand firm in the truth of God's word. Trust in His sovereignty and know that He is at work. Even in the midst of confusion and turmoil, the battle is His and we are His vessels.